Welcome. Today I'll be showing you how to set up an autorespondent and make it deliver to your audience fast. Most times when we set up autorespondent using our Cpanel from our email account and test them, we notice that we do not get our autorespondent immediately. And the same thing applies to when our customer sends out a message. You are surprised when they complain that they didn't get any feedback from you, because technically they should have gotten an autorespondent from you, but they didn't because the server didn't send out an autorespondent to them. So we're going to look at how to fix this using SMTP. SMTP simply means Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. It is an internet standard communication protocol for electronic mail transfer, and it improves 1. Your website data security, and most importantly, enables email deliverability, makes email delivery very fast. So this is an email I composed using my Cpanel email autorespondent setup, but when I tested it out, it didn't deliver on time. But at the moment when I integrated an SMTP, I got the message ASAP. And so I'm going to show you how to set up an SMTP so that your audience or your customers can also receive your messages immediately. So let's head over to our WordPress dashboard. So I have switched to my plugins. You can see I'm on add new plugin. So just switch to your dashboard and go to add new plugin. When you get here, search for Fluent SMTP. This is one of the best SMTPs and it works great for me. That's why I'm recommending it. We are not going to pay for anything in this setup, though. This is Fluent SMTP and I'm going to set it up. So I just clicked on install. I'm waiting for it to install. When you're done, activate it. Our SMTP is activated. You can just click on settings here, over here, or you can head over to your settings and you'll find Fluent SMTP. Now before we proceed, let's say we have not set up our email, our autorespondent and the likes. Let me just show you how to go about that. So this is what my Cpanel looks like, and I'm gonna head over to email account to set up an email I want my customers to send message to, and that same email will send out an autorespondent when they do. So I'm just going to head over to create here and create a new business email. So here I will add sales. So automatically when I click on create, it's going to give me sales@elizabethville.com.ng. So when I'm done, I will set up my password. When choosing your password, make sure it has numbers, symbols, caps and lowercase. So when you're done, click on create. So the reason you want to make sure your password is rich is for security purpose. Now that we're done, you can see that we have a new business email. That is sales@elizabethville.com.ng. After that, the next thing we want to do is head over to our tools once again on our Cpanel dashboard and click on forwarders. Forwarders basically allows you to receive message on another email when a customer sends out message to the one you've given to them. So for example, if your customer sends out a message to sales@elizabethville.com.ng, you want to receive the same email on maybe your Gmail account or your Yahoo Mail account. You can use forwarders for that. So I'm just going to head over to add forwarder So the first thing I will do is put in the same name I used when setting up the email account, which is sales. Then put in the email I want my messages to be forwarded to. So basically I use this, and so I'm still going to put in this and add forwarder. So that's my Gmail, as you can see here, at gmail.com. Now that we are done, we're going to go back to tools and set up our autorespondent. To set up our autoresponder, we just have to click on add autoresponder. Where you have intervals, just put in 0 if you want your audience to receive your messages instantly. But if you do not, you can set in 1 hour, 2 hours, and the likes. But for this, I'm going to put in 0. Then the email we set up for our business mail, which is in this case sales. Now that we are done, we want to put in the from, the name that our customers will see when they get an email from us. So in my case, it's Elizabeth Will Global Consult. Now that we are done, we can now head over to fill in a subject for that mail and a body for the mail. So in this case, I can make my subject, "Thank you for reaching out," or "Your email has been received." You can see that I've been using that kind of format for a while. Right now, we're going to tweak one of the ones I've been using. So your email is received, instead of "Your email is received," so "Your email has been received." You can put that in caps or leave it like this. Then for the body of your message, just put in words like, "Thank you for your mail. Your message has been received. We'll get back to you in a short time. But while you wait, please check out our promotions at," put in the address, and you can now end it with a "best regards" and your company name. But if you're still thinking of what to type, you can consult AI tools like ChatGPT to help you out. So let's consult ChatGPT to help us out with a text. Here we have ChatGPT opened up, and I'm just going to type in a prompt for it to give me an email autorespondent I can send to my customers whenever they chat me up. And there we have it. I told ChatGPT to give me a 30 words email autoresponder I can send to my customers anytime they send me an email. And I have my result here. So I can just copy this and tweak it. So I'm just going to copy this, go back to the body of my autoresponder and paste that in. So I'm going to tweak this. "Thank you for your mail. I am currently away from my inbox, but we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Your patience is appreciated. Best regards." You can put in your company name here. For me, I'm going to put in this. But if you want your emails to look like this with the bold and the website link that I have here, you can just use the same ChatGPT to rewrite that message and send it to you in an HTML format. So over here we have, this message contains HTML. If your text has some HTML in it, you might want to click on this. To set that up, let's go back to ChatGPT and tell it to rewrite the above for us with an HTML code. And there we have it. Here again, we can come here and copy this, go back to our messages and paste that in, and our message will look a little bit like this. And I want you to note that you have to be versed with HTML to use this code. So there are some things I would scrap out in this code and some things I would change in this code. But since we are here for SMTP and not here for an HTML class, let's proceed. So now that our message is set up, we do not have to click this message contains HTML because right now it doesn't. Right now we are done and we can click on create. And there we have you have successfully created an autoresponder for sales at elizabethwales.com.ng. Now let us test out our autoresponder if it actually works. So I'm going to send an email from a normal Gmail account to this business email to see if it works. One thing about this is it will work for the first time, but when you try the second time or the third time, it might not be fast as it was for the first time, and that is why we need an SMTP to make that fast. So let's test out. Right now I'm in my Gmail box and I'm just going to send out a message from here to my sales at elizabethwales.com.ng. .com.ng, and my subject here is this is a test mail, and the body is also this is a test mail since we're just doing some tests. So now I'm done and I'm just going to click on send. Now that we've sent the message, let's head over to our inbox to see if we actually got that message. So I'm just going to head over to email account, go to sales and check email. And open. You can always skip this page by clicking on this, but I don't like to skip that. So right now we can see that our mail has actually entered here. So I sent it from a Gmail account. Let's open the mail. And we can see over here that this mail was sent from a Gmail account to sales@elizabethwales.com.ng, which is also here. Remember, we did a forwarder for every mail we received. Let's check if our forwarder mail received the same message. We can see the same message here in our forwarder, but it's a spam. So I have to report it not as spam before I can see this message in my inbox. So to fix all of this spamming issue, we need SMTP. Now that the mail has been sent, let's wait. Maybe after a while we're going to get the autoresponder sent to the mail that sent out the message to the business mail. So I'm just going to go back to my other Gmail account, and so I'm on the Gmail account that sent the message to the business email, and we can see that our autoresponder was actually received. There are times when you test this out a second time or the third time, it won't be as fast as this. So let's just get this over with and set up our SMTP already. Remember this, what we just did was went to settings, clicked on Fluent SMTP, and this dashboard opened up. The first thing you want to do is set up the email provider you want to link your SMTP with. And so I'm going to be using Google Workspace to set up this. You can use other SMTPs. I'm just going to click on Google Workspace, put in my from email. So here I have sales@elizabeth.com.ng, and the from here will be there. We have it. At this point, you need to do some integration. One thing I love about this plugin and some other plugins out there is they would always give you a step-by-step documentation to set it up. So let's click on this documentation and we'll see how to set up our SMTP when using Google Workspace or Gmail. And this is just the step-by-step process you need to follow to set it up. It's not hard, so we're going to do this together. Let's use the documentation as a guide so that you can always redo this and relearn whenever you feel lost. Next thing we're going to do is create an account with Google if you don't, then head over to your Google Cloud platform. So I'm just going to open this in a new tab. And here you can see that I have a Google Cloud platform set up already for my business. If you're starting off, click on this box over here and click on New Project. Now that you have new projects, put in your project name. Head over to create. You don't have to worry about this location here. And now we can see this notification that we have created a new project, and from here I can check out the new project. This is the one I use for myself, and the other ones are for other purposes. So now that we are here, the next thing we want to do is head over to this icon over here and click on API and services, then enable API and services. Let me go back. Click on this enable API and services, and when you get here, search for Gmail API. So I'm just going to type Gmail API, and you would see this. Select the first one and enable. Now our Gmail API has been successfully enabled. When you're done with that, click on create credentials. When you get here, click on user data and click on next. Now you can put in your application name. We're currently using Fluent SMTP, so you can put in Fluent SMTP and select your support email, which is this. I'll advise you to set up your SMTP with the mail you set up for your forwarders so that everything can synchronize together, so that you will not be trying to remember what mail you used and what mail you didn't. Now that we are done, we can decide to put in an app logo or skip that. So right now I'm going to skip that and fill in my developer contact information. This is also the email address I've been using from the beginning, which is my Gmail address. Usually it's the same thing as the user support email here. So I'm going to put that in. And there we have that. Then click on save and continue. At this point, you do not have any other business on this page. Just save and continue. And when you get here, select web application as your application type under OAuth client ID, and put in the client's name. So you can decide to put in the email you're actually using. So for me, I'm going to put Elizabeth Bill so that you remember the client the mail is for, in case you're doing this for your clients. Now that I'm done, I don't have any business with this JavaScript origins. What I'm going to do next is click on add URL. This URL will be the one Fluent SMTP showed us in the beginning. Let me show you what I mean. So this is the URL Fluent SMTP gave us for redirect URL. So just copy that and paste. As soon as you're done, just click on create. Now we have our client ID. You want to copy this client ID, just click on this icon here, copy the client ID and paste here. Just copy and Control V, paste. Once you're done with that, click on Done. Go back to this dashboard and click on Credentials. So you're going to see the ID you just created over here. Just click on this Edit here and you will see your other credentials. So right now I'm going to look for the client secret, which is this over here, and copy. Now that I'm done, you can also see that you can get your client ID from here. Now that I'm done, I can now paste it here. Once done, I can now click on Authenticate with Google and get access token. On this page, I want to use the same Gmail I've been using all along. You don't have to worry too much about this page. Just click on Advanced, then click on Go to fluentsmtp.com. Once you get here, click on Continue and copy this code. Once you copy this code, go back to this dashboard on your website and paste in that token. Paste in the token here that I've done and click on Save Connection Settings. Now that we've set that up, we can now see that our SMTP for this email has been set up. And whenever we get emails, we can always come here to view our email logs. So if you click on this email test, you can do a test from here to see if this setup is working correctly for you. So the from, remember, is sales@deliverables.com.ng. I'm going to send the mail to info, just another business mail I have, and here you can see it has been successfully sent. When you go to this business mail, you're going to see that message. So let us head over there. Okay, this was the test mail we did, and you can see that the mail arrived at info@blizzbellview.com.ng. You can send it to your Gmail, you can send it to whatever account you choose to. Okay, so over here we can see that we've sent out a mail. That was the test mail we did, and that's why it's showing one. Let's now send out a mail from a Gmail account to see if our autorespondent will come in ASAP. So right now we're going to send out our mail from another Gmail account because we've already authorized the previous mail to receive messages from this newly set up business account, this newly set up business email. So let's send out a fresh message from a new Gmail. You know what? Let's use a Ymail account instead. So we're going to send our message from a Yahoo account. You can see over here I have ojewale.fumilola@yahoo.com, and I'm going to send this message to sales at, see that we do not have that email registered here, Elizabeth. And there we have it, and the subject will be different now so that we can differentiate one from the other. So I'm just going to put in auto, and through that we know that it's a fresh mail. This is yet mail, and send, and we can see over here the message has been sent from our sent folder. Now that we're done, let's go check if that message was truly received by sales@elizabethwill.com.ng. So I'm just going to click on check email, open, and can you imagine how fast that was? Within few minutes, just now to here, we've gotten our message. Let's open this up, and you can see that this was the message we just sent out from ojawale.fumilola@yahoo.com. Let's also check if our forwarder received the same message. Remember, our forwarder for sales@elizabethwill.com.ng is this, elizabethwill.globalconsult@gmail.com. So let's go to that Gmail account and see if we actually got that message. And there it is, looking at us from our inbox, and this is it. Let me go to my spam so that you know that this was not edited. So you can see this was the one we did earlier that entered the spam from another Gmail account, but this was the one we just did and it entered directly into our inbox. And the last thing we now want to do is to check if our sender got a response from us. So let's head over to our Yahoo account to see that. And here we can see that a message was sent to us. Before I close this chapter, I want to emphasize that you can also set up other business email with the same SMTP. For example, if you want to set up another email address, just click on add another connection. Let's say you want to set up an SMTP to navigate directly with your Cpanel. Just click on other SMTP. So I'm just going to use a mail I have not set up SMTP for. So I have training. I have this. The from will be Elizabeth Will. Now the setting here is a little bit different, and that is the reason why I usually do not close the page before this. So let me just go back to the beginning. So earlier on I stated that there is a simple way to log into your mail. Whenever you use the URL, it will bring you to something like this, and you can put in your email address and your password and you're logged in. Okay, let's continue. How will I get what this is asking me for? What I do is go to my Cpanel email account and click on that particular mail by clicking on check mail. That's the reason why I do not click on this open my inbox when I log in. I want to see this page because of this SMTP setup. So what I'll do is go to configure mail client. From this same dashboard, just scroll down and go to other web mail features, configure mail clients. And when I get here, I'm just going to scroll down here. So I'm going to use this information right here to connect this SMTP directly to my webmail. I think there is a documentation here which you can read to set up. Using this SMTP host, I would get the information from my outgoing server. So I'm just going to copy this and paste this here. Then for my SMTP port, I'm going to use this SMTP port, that's 465. So I'm just going to put 465. Remember, the info we are using is that of the outgoing server, not the incoming server. Once I'm done, I'm going to click on SSL leave this ticked, fill in my username and my password. How do I get my username? Come back here, you can see your username here, which is training@deliverables.com.ng. Copy that, paste it here. How do I know that this is the right thing to do? I know that by using the documentation I earlier showed you. And if you look over here, you can see SSL settings or TLS setting. Whether you're clicking on SSL or TLS, you're going to use the information here. So the only username I can see is this. The only username is still this. So I'm using either this or this, which are the same. And when done, I'll put in my password. So the password you're going to use here is the same password you used when setting up that email address. That's your business email address. And save connection. And you can see this setting saved successfully. And you can see that we have another connected email address under SMTP server. So let's do a test run and send out an email from this address. So I'm just going to click on email test. The from is this. I'm going to send it to just a random Gmail address and send. Can see email delivered successfully. So I'm going to go to that mail. Remember, this is the first setup we are doing for that address, and I can see a congratulatory message that we've set up successfully. So the other thing I'm going to do is send out an email from this email address to the one we just set up for. And the subject will be SMTP connect and test. So now that I'm done, I can click on send, and we can see this is 8 p.m. 8:04 p.m. Sunday 3rd. Let's go to our webmail to see if we got that message. And we are here. We sent out the message when at exactly 7:04, and we also got our message at 7:04. And you can see that our message was sent successfully. Now let's go to our forwarder to see if our forwarder also received the same message. And there we can see that truly our forwarder received the same message from this Gmail account to this place. Now let's see if this account received an autoresponder. Let me see, did we set up an autoresponder? Let's quickly do that. Let's quickly see if I did. If we didn't, there will be no autoresponder, but I think I should have one set up. Yeah, we did. So I'm just gonna go to inbox, and there you can see that our autoresponder actually entered our inbox and not our spam box. And that's just how to go about it. So if you want your user or your audience to receive messages to their inbox, connect through SMTP server. But if your major concern is fast delivery, connect through Gmail or Google Workspace. That's what I've noticed so far, and we can see that happening right now. Could you imagine how much more we can offer for a paid class if we can give so much for a free video session? If you're not yet enrolled with us and you want to migrate into the tech space, or you're looking forward to upgrading your tech skills, please check
the link in the description below to get started, and we would love to have you on board.
At this point, we've come to the end of this. See you another time.